I love Sundays. Why? Because this is a time we get to talk about everything football, everything tennis, everything NBA, entirely sports right here on Scorecard on Channel 1 TV. I'm Gabi Ofe. Many thanks for joining us for today's edition or episode right here on Channel 1 TV. Remember, it's always an interactive show, so you can join us by sharing your thoughts with the WhatsApp numbers that will be displayed on your screens. It's heavy today. We'll touch on the 2025 French Open, or the Roland Garros you want to call it. The Ghana Premier League also ended today. We have a new champion. I'll tell you who that is. That's just in case you missed out, you didn't follow. And then we'll touch on the UEFA Nations League. The finals is in action. Spain taking on Portugal. We'll touch on the third place playoff between France and Germany, and a bit of some NBA for the NBA lovers. So it's a packed show. You want to join us from now to somewhere around 10 p.m. And we're taking a quick break. When we come back, I'll introduce my guest to help me do the analysis for today's edition. This is Scorecard on Channel 1 TV. I'm Gabi Ofe. We'll be back after this. And welcome back to Channel 1 TV. This is Scorecard, and I'm Gabi Ofe. You can join us by sharing your thoughts on everything we'll be touching on, from football to tennis to the NBA. Heavy discussion. And to help me do this is I've got Susu Graham in studio with me, and Manuel Kwachi, coach. Yeah, Coach Manuel Kwachi. You can hear his. Don't mind me. Guys, how are you doing? It's good to see you. Siemens Mobile, taking you all the way back to Olympiacos 1925.
Yeah.
No, you'll be hard guy.
You want to guess which players on the back?
Which players are that?
Rivaldo.
Oh.
Remember he played for Olympiacos?
Yeah. Oh, but where did you get this jersey from?
My mom went to Greece.
Oh, she went to Greece?
Yeah, at the time he was playing, so that's how old this is.
Ah,
Vintage,
I see,
yeah.
I see. But it be calm, it's nice.
As you can imagine, the fact that it still fits, you should tell you how big it was when
you can actually see.
Yeah.
Kwachi,
Yeah.
how are you doing?
Ade.
Everything good? You're a big fan of tennis. So let's start off the conversation with the 2025 Roland Garros. Let's start off from the women's singles. That the champion is Coco Gauff. The first time she won it since 2015. The last person to do so, an American, of course, was Serena Williams. So she broke 2 records. 2023, she won the US Open, and she also became the first American to do so since 1999. Let's just take up this quick video. When we come back, we'll discuss more. My goodness, I'm so happy for Coco Gauff. Yes, 2 things. You know what it means to have your parents dropping their careers to actually support you. That's what Coco's dad, that's Corey Gauff, and her mom, Candy Gauff, actually have been doing for Coco Gauff. So, winning the French Open title, beating Aryna Sabalenka, who is the world #1. And it was the second time they were facing off in a major Grand Slam final. Yeah, so she went on to beat the Belarusian in that final for the women's singles. Let me start off with you, Susu. I know you love Coco Gauff, right?
Oh, I wouldn't go that far. I'm a fan, but I wouldn't go about love. But look, Sabalenka was the heavy favorite.
Yeah.
Everyone expected her to deliver, and she didn't. And frankly, she was in her own head. I believe Sabalenka, there's some mental weakness in her game. You can't play 70 unforced errors in
She had so many errors in those games.
Like that's base, and Coco Gauff had in the 30s. So you basically, for every mistake Coco Gauff makes, you make double her mistakes. You're not going to win that way. It just doesn't work like that. And she made some statements after, and people were on her case, where she said, look, I lost the game because of the way I played. And she has every right to say that, because like I said, 70 unforced errors, that's 70 points over the course of the game, which she shouldn't have dropped. I mean, unforced errors are part of the game. Every player makes them. But for you to make 70 and your opponent makes in their 30s, that's very poor. And knowing you are the better player on top, it's just like she just folded like a house of cards. So very disappointing from Sabalenka's point of view. But again, very impressive from Coco Gauff, because even if your opponent is making mistakes, you have to take advantage. You have to stay mentally strong. You have to do what you have to do. And she did what she came to do. She stuck to a game plan, it worked, she got her points, and she won her title. So congratulations to her, of course. But we also have to mention that Sabalenka was really let herself down, to be honest.
Yeah. Kwachi, talk to me about, when it comes to the women's singles, I mean, you and I know how inconsistent sometimes you can actually have these players. I'm saying so because I can give you about three examples. Naomi Osaka, nobody thought that she would drop Nobody thought that Barbara Krejcikova would win a Grand Slam. Nobody thought that Iga Swiatek would rise this way. There's so many inconsistencies. What does this mean for Coco Gauff going forward?
I think there's always been a lot of doubt about her. People are usually very critical of her forehand and how she defends in her game. But I think this is the second time she's beaten Sabalenka in the final. And she beat Swiatek too in Rome. So this narrative that she's not actually, because she's second in the world, she's actually one of the top players in the world. And of the active players playing, I think she now has multiple Grand Slams. Only Iga Swiatek and Osaka should have more of the players still actively playing. So
Iga Swiatek and Osaka, they are leading.
She's quite young, and that's the impressive thing. Because I think when she came at Wimbledon against Venus Williams, everyone thought that she had a lot of potential. It took her a while.
She was like, what, 15, 16?
She was 15 when she played against
very young.
Venus. Yeah.
She's now 21. Yeah, 21.
Yeah, she's now 21.
That makes me feel old.
It took her a while to win her first Grand Slam. But on the Sabalenka part, the same thing happened when they played in the US Open.
Yeah.
And after she took the first
You
set,
mean with the errors?
No, not necessarily with the errors. She gets very self-critical.
Okay.
She almost swings a bit. Sometimes she's very excited. But then when things aren't going her way, she has a way of sort of self-imploding. And it got to her in this game. Because after she took the first set was actually quite tight. She won it in a tiebreak. I thought she was just going to go on and dominate. But for Gauff to come and win the second set, I think 6-2. Yeah, and to go on and win the final set, I think there was a point where Sabalenka wasn't able to deal with the pressure. She was talking a lot about the conditions of the game and how it affected her. But the same conditions also affected Coco Gauff. And I just think she's reached a point where all the time she lost in the Roland Garros in the last 3 years, she lost to Iga Swiatek.
Yeah.
So she's been losing to top players on
And
clay.
Sabalenka said it at the press conference that if it was against Swiatek, she would
Iga
have lost. And Coco came to reply.
That's when Coco pointed out that she actually beat Iga in Rome, even though Iga hasn't been in good form. I think she just cemented herself as one of the top players in the world, even though she's not always going to be the fancied one because of the top level of Sabalenka and Swiatek. I think she's definitely a contender for the rest of the Grand Slams. And she's done it on multiple surfaces now. She hasn't won it on grass yet, but at least she's won on clay and she's won on hard court. Yeah, and I think all Sabalenka's titles so far have been on a hard court. So she's showing some versatility in her game.
Okay. Good one. So congratulations to Coco Gauff for winning that. For the men's singles, of course, Carlos Alcaraz. He's been looking up to Rafael Nadal, king of the clay. Nadal did not partake in this year's competition. So Alcaraz actually became the 8th man to win back-to-back Roland Garros titles. And also, it was a really good final. It took about 5 hours, 29 minutes.
I watched a lot of the last.
Yeah, started around I think 2 p.m.-ish that way.
I'll say I watched all of the 3rd, 4th, and 5th sets. So when I came and I saw that Yannick Sinner was 2 sets up, for me, I was like, okay, this is a done deal. I'm just coming to watch Sinner kind of. But Alcaraz, fought back. There was a tie break.
He's very aggressive.
Tie break in the 3rd set. Or I think one of the sets.
No, so the 3rd and the final set were both in tie break.
The 3rd
and the final set.
Okay, so the 3rd set's a tie break. I'm thinking to myself, okay, Sinner, you can take this. He doesn't take it. Alcaraz breaks him, wins the 4th set. The 5th set, Alcaraz is actually 5-3 up. And Sinner breaks back. Because I thought Alcaraz at that point had it. Sinner breaks back, gets it to 5-5. They get to a tie break. And he loses the first 7 points of the tie break. And it's just so disheartening because you get to a tie break and 7 straight points. And by that time, the crowd turned on him. Because Alcaraz had so much momentum. It was like, 7 straight points. Just hurry it up. So look, it was a great final. I've watched a lot of tennis in my life. My dad is a big tennis fan, so me and him watch tennis very regularly. So I've been watching tennis since I was like 5, 6. This is something I've watched a lot. And this is one of the best games I've seen in a long time. Because just the emotion, the fight back. Because he wins the 3rd set, like, can he really? He wins the 4th set, like, okay, he's 5-3 up, and you think that, okay, this is it. This is the comeback of the ages. Then he kind of messes up, and you're like, oh, so is Sinner now going to do what he should have done before? But just excellent entertainment all around. I was saying this is the type of tennis match. Someone doesn't watch tennis, show them this game. They'll understand the hype.
Get them convinced with the final.
This was cinema, pure cinema.
But
the script writers couldn't have done it better. This is Hollywood.
What do you make about people who say that these two, I'm talking about Alcaraz and Sinner, could go on to be the next Rafael and Djoko?
Well, it looks like because, the guys who came before them, we expected a lot from Zverev, Medvedev. That's exactly my point. Kasparov, you can mention it.
Nick Kyrgios. fighting with umpire, always smashing his racket.
Was always a bit of a wild card.
At least won one Grand
But
Slam.
you get what I'm saying? We expected a lot from those guys.
Yeah, a lot from them. I agree with this point, though.
It's just like, it just never came to fruition. And you have Yannick Sinner, who comes a bit after them. He's a bit younger.
Yeah.
You have Alcaraz, who's younger. And it looks like they've taken over. I think those guys were all born in the 90s. It looks like the 90s guys in tennis.
No, but to be fair, at the end of their careers, they were still playing against, like, at least peak Djokovic, because Djokovic is still going. They were playing against Federer. So even when they were making it to the big stage, because Ruud has been in three Grand Slam
you get what I'm saying? That's the point. You are supposed to, as the younger man, knock someone off his throne. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? I get it, but the fact that...
Those were their moments, though.
Yeah, and the fact that Djokovic is still here, being a boogeyman in the draw, I think he played Alcaraz in the semi.
No, it was Sinner. Sinner took him out.
It was Sinner. So the fact that he's still a boogeyman in the semi-finals, that he's able to get all the way to the semi-final, it's testament to his greatness, but it's also testament to the fact that these younger guys have not made the step up. Because they should be getting Djokovic out in the round of 16 or the quarterfinals. You know that kind. Because he's still a great player, but he still has that pedigree. But they just haven't seemed to take the step up. But it looks like Alcaraz and Sinner. And like you said, because they don't have a strong old guard, because these 90 guys have not really reached the heights we expected, it's looking like they're going to have a free run to about maybe 10 or 12 Grand Slams before someone else comes. So I feel their careers are very well placed, because sometimes about timing, like we said, those guys having to face Djokovic has cost them probably some slams that they would have won if they had won 10 years earlier or 10 years later. So
Medvedev lost finals to both Nadal and Djokovic. Ruud lost finals to Djokovic.
I think some 2 seasons ago.
Yeah. So they've all made it to the like the end of the tournament, but they're never able to.
But who is your biggest fan though?
In tennis,
yeah,
I like Alcaraz. He is
Alcaraz?
quite good. Because the difference between him and Sinner is consistent. Like Sinner plays a really good level every single game.
Do you think the doping whatever puts him in a different?
My thoughts on that are, I believe that it's going to hang a cloud over his career, just because it felt like he was let off very lightly. If I remember correctly, he didn't even get up to 6 months.
No, so he got 3 months, and it was very convenient. He played between
it was 3 months, right?
Australian Open and the French Open.
Exactly. So it's going to hang over your head, because...
And it wasn't made public until his, his punishment was already revealed. Yeah. So it was very...
Yeah, so the whole thing is just a bit... I feel like people always feel like he's being favored by the establishment and that kind of stuff. And it's always going to be a stick to beat him, because... like you said, very convenient. And usually doping offenses, you don't get 3 months. You know.
But the thing is, he was able to prove. I think he was able to not prove, but he was able to convince them that it was not his fault.
But
it was some, and the percentage was actually quite small. It should not have any.
So I think essentially he presented a fair case.
But you see, the thing is, we've seen other doping cases where people have taken things that they didn't know, didn't plan to take, and they've gotten 12 months, 18 months. Paul Pogba is a good example. What did Paul Pogba do? Paul Pogba was intentional, but Paul Pogba lost 18 months of his career.
I think Simona Halep was she had to not play for 2 years while she was waiting for her case to be heard. So like there have been different examples.
Exactly, where people have been much more harshly treated.
I think there's a how to call it. There's a reason why he had to why he was given a slightly lenient sentence. Because I think he was able to, when they give you a time period in which you're able to either appeal against a decision that's made, and because of how much wealthier some of the tennis players are, it was easier for him to get everything in order, get better lawyers, and push his case.
Oh, you see, I don't doubt that he did everything by the book, and the sentence given him was fair. But it's just by comparison to the untrained, people are not going to go into the nitty-gritty of the case and say, oh, he did this right. It's going to be, he doped, he got 3 months. Someone doped, they sat at home for 2 years. That's going to be the discussion.
Yeah, but just on that point,
quick one, so we'll move on to the GP.
I'll just say that I think Alcaraz's top level is much higher than Sinner's. That's something that's come out, because I think he leads their head-to-head 8-4 with this win, and it means that the last 6 slams have been shared between them, which is crazy. Because last year they both won 2 slams, and this year Sinner won in Australia and he's won this Grand Slam. So it's a bit crazy how immediately after the era of Federer, Djokovic, and Nadal, these two have come along.
Don't say after the era. Djokovic is still here.
No, but to win, like, combined, that's at least 64 rounds. No, about 64,
but who's your favorite, though? I didn't ask you that.
My favorite tennis player? Male or female?
Male.
Well, I'll say I'm a Nadal fan.
Female, Coco Gauff.
Oh, no, Serena Williams. I grew up watching Serena Williams, so, I mean, I can't say that. That's why I grew up watching.
Those of you like the women's singles, yeah, Munjimutu, right? So. Let's get to the Ghana Premier League. We have a new champion coming from Western region. And for the third consecutive time, we have a team from the western side of Ghana winning the title, joining the likes of Summertex 1996 and Media Mass Sporting Club. We went to BBN Gold Stars after beating Accra Lions by 4-0. Enjoy. All right, so champion of the 2024-25 Ghana Premier League season, BBN Gold Stars, and in the shots there you saw their CEO Nana Akwesi Edu elated after the team's success. But there was one particular player in that team who's won 2 titles, so back-to-back. He won it with Media Mass Sporting Club and he's gone on to do so with BBN Gold Stars. That's Vincent Atinga. So BBN Gold Stars, congratulations. Third team from the Western region to win the GPL title. Susu.
Yeah, it's been a
Why
interesting.
Are you smiling like that? I don't
I'm thinking about a season of Ghana Premier League football where 2 clubs have quit.
Yeah. So and Swatraman.
Yeah,
and then Nations FC.
They still have points. That's
no,
what
but for Nations they said they are considering. So moving forward,
once
whether
you leave,
to partake.
you've quit. You can't. Once you get up and you've quit.
No, but the GFA is actually yet to give a response, like an official response to the matter. According to them, they are looking into the incident.
The whole thing is just bizarre because we can't say Bibiani have won the league when there's an issue with, no, seriously.
Good.
When there's an issue with Nations FC.
I like this argument because when we're doing Scoreline on radio today, Bernard and he asked me that question. I said, I can't officially say that BBN Gold Stars are champions because there's a pending matter.
Yeah, because this Nations FC matter, if let's say we find out that Nations FC were the ones who were harassed and they are attacked, blah, 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 and they had a very good reason to leave to fear for their safety, the logical thing for the FA to do would be award them 3 points.
Yes.
What will happen if they are awarded 3 points?
When
they go about
when they replay
Bibiani.
the match instead.
No, I'm saying that if it's a case where it's like it was a dangerous atmosphere, the safety was their safety was kind
That's if the ruling goes in favor. If the ruling goes in favor of
the referee
Nations,
would have had to end the game for their safety, and then
that's, you see, we are not. I'm just giving a hypothetical. We're not saying that that's what will happen. We're just saying that they said our safety, blah blah blah. If they go and investigate the matter and it turns out that Nations FC were right to leave because there was an unsafe environment and them leaving was caused by the what team were they playing that weekend? I can't remember.
That's Basake Holy Stars.
Against Holy Stars, that the Holy Stars fans had created an unsafe environment. If the GFA now says, okay, Nations, we are sorry this happened. Here's your 3 points and 3 goals. And they league champions, or I'm looking at the table wrong.
Yes.
So this clearly we can't say they've won the league. That's the first thing. That alone, we shouldn't say that.
I mean, but then that comes down to the GFA. They should have done something about it before.
But they put out the GFA actually put out an artwork. On their website. There's an artwork.
Well, that's exactly the point.
Congratulating BBN Gold Stars for being champions.
No, that's exactly. They congratulate them before.
No, but they have done. They've done on to because.
That means they've told you what they investigate, what's happening. They've given you the results of the investigation. They've just not announced it. They've told you. So that's my point, because it's just not the done thing. We have all those in Sachiman games. How have they sorted that out? Yeah. Have they removed all their points from other people, giving everyone 6 points? Do you get what I'm saying?
No, because I saw the table and I think Iswachiman.
Oh, for Iswachiman, yeah, they did so.
They've already done that one.
So every team that had a fixture against Iswachiman.
No, but what about the past picture?
Okay, so the past one,
yeah, because
they won 5 games, and if you can check the table, they won 5 games. They have 15.
The past games they played.
What would they do? Yeah,
they also have to give those points as well. So have they done all of those things? Have we gone through the process of that? So for me, this is just. I get it that we want to try and pretend
just
things
being the.
No, he's making a very valid point.
It's a simple procedure.
We have our champions to really go start.
Even the Iswachiman incident is like proof enough. Because there are teams that had to play them after that were given 3 points, and there are teams that played them before who lost the match and have also been.
And didn't even they play some of the games after? It's like they showed up for some, they didn't show up for some. Or I'm misremembering it. I feel like it's Sachiman also played.
No, they didn't play again. After that incident, they didn't play.
Okay, they didn't play again. So my whole thing is that the whole thing is confused because you can't even tell what's going on, because some of these things, if someone has left the league, you can't say that the rest of the games. Either all the games and you have them on 0 points.
All their games should have been given. The 3 points should have given to all the teams that played them,
so
and they are taken out of the league.
So all of these things should have happened, but we've just let a lot of things slide because we're not serious about procedure.
Well, maybe let's give the FA the benefit of the doubt.
No, we won't give them because at least the Sachiman thing should have already been done.
Yeah, that's true.
It should have been done. So are we saying that what they did before, someone's a team that they beat, maybe their team is relegated and they could have stayed up. We are going to leave it like that. So it's just there's too much confusion.
I mean, anyway, congratulations.
Quick one, so we go on a break.
Yeah, no, I mean, to the qualifier
no, we are not congratulating.
No, you have to congratulate them.
No,
but the handlers of the league have put out a flyer crew. Why don't you want to
this one? I'm going to stand.
No, but you know there are reps for Africa next season. They'll be playing against Al Ahly, Pyramids, and things.
I refuse to congratulate them when the league is so disorganized.
But just quick thoughts on
when someone had to win, it's not their fault that the Ghana Premier League couldn't be organized properly.
But you see, that's the point. The league is not organized properly. What am I congratulating you for? For winning a joke?
Okay. The FA people say let's preach positivity about the league, so you are doing so.
No.
Kwache, preach positivity and let's go.
Kwache, stand on principle. Tell the truth. God is watching.
Kwache, congratulate Viviani Go Stars and let's go.
I want to congratulate the winners of the Ghana Premier League. If it is Viviani Go Stars,
I like that. I like that. The winners. Okay, we congratulate the winners of the Ghana Premier League. I like that.
Are you scared of Zuzu?
No, I'm speaking. Why
are you allowing Zuzu?
They are the winners. Congratulations.
Okay.
You see, he agrees. Because Gabi, he agrees with me because he knows that these are matches that should have been settled before the final day, or at least. We don't crown a champion, and then when the matter is settled, we say you are champions. Congratulations.
The least they can do for Nations FC was at least reschedule the game and let them know that even though how do you call it, because you can't, because now they finished with one less game.
Yeah.
Today, like.
Gabi, when you look at that league table, are you proud?
Yes, I'm super proud.
Okay.
I'm proud.
The league of our own.
Our own league.
This is our lecture. It's the Ghana Premier League. I'm proud. You guys are not proud?
I've never seen a league that someone has finished with 34, then someone has finished with 33, and they finished.
Guys, on this note, Susu and Kwashi are not proud. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about a league or a Nations League that people are proud about. This is Channel 1 TV, Scorecard you're watching. I'm Gabi Ofe. We'll be back after this. All right, welcome back to the show. This is Scorecard on Channel 1 TV. I am Gabi Ofe. I'm doing this with Manuel Kwashi and Susu Graham. You can send in your thoughts on what we've touched on so far. Are you impressed with the Ghana Premier League? We have a new champion, Viviani Go Stars. If you're a tennis fan, champion from the women's singles in the French Open, Coco Gauff, the men's singles, Carlos Alcaraz. I've seen some messages, but let's get to the UEFA Nations League. Let's start off with the third place playoff. France winning it. They beat Germany by 2-0. Kylian Mbappe and Michael Olise. Enjoy. All right, they enjoyed a difficult night against Spain, but redeemed themselves with a 2-goal win against Germany, taking up the third place playoff. Courtesy Kylian Mbappe and Michael Olise. So 2 good goals from Mbappe scoring and assisting. Susu.
Yeah, I mean, it's not what France would have wanted. They would have liked to be facing Portugal in the final, of course, but they let themselves down against Spain. I mean, you can't concede 5 goals in a game and expect to win. That's irresponsible from them. So, and for a team that's known for their defensive solidity and not their attacking firepower, conceding 5 goals was a death sentence. But credit to Kylian Mbappe, he scored 50 goals for France. He's on Olivier Giroud's neck. Very soon he'll pass Thierry Henry. So his France career is going very well. He's a World Cup winner. So it looks like maybe if he adds the Euros to it, he'll complete the full set, and we'll be talking about one of the greatest international careers of all time. So very good for him on a personal level, but still disappointing because he's now France captain. He probably wants to win something as France captain. It's not enough to just have, he's won things already, but to win as captain is a different thing. Become France all-time scorer. So let's see how it goes. I mean, at this point, it's what, 25, 26?
Yeah.
And he's already on 50 goals. Henry played until he was in his 30s and he scored 53. So he's in a very good place to become France all-time scorer.
Kwache, just quick thoughts on Didier Deschamps. Are you excited with him, with the way he sets up the French team? People think that he could liberate a lot of these attacking players he's got in the squad.
Yeah, but I think he's had a lot of success because there have been a lot of times where people thought Zidane was just waiting. Since he left Real Madrid, people think he's just waiting to come into the France job. But I think Deschamps has actually been quite solid. He's won a World Cup, which helps. Yeah. In terms of the way he sets
it, tournament coach.
I mean,
he's been coached since like 2012.
Yeah, 2012. I mean,
a long time.
Yeah, he reached the final of the Euros in 2016. Won the World Cup, and so. In terms of the way he sets the team up, I think because of how much talent there's in the French team, when you look at their forward line, I think it's slightly similar to England, but I think they have better talent.
More like a counter-attacking team.
Yeah, and the thing about these things is once you play certain players, the first thing that people come up is, oh, why didn't you play this player? This player would have made a difference. Obviously, in the previous game against Spain, you can clearly tell that when Cherki came on or when things were a little more loose, he was able to make a difference. But I still think, like you said, he's a tournament coach. He knows how to get the job done, and I still think they have World Cup qualifiers in September. They'll probably make it to the next World Cup. I think he's a good manager for these big tournaments.
But he has said that I believe the next World Cup is his last tournament. So the new coach will be coming in next year because the next World Cup is 12 months away.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about it, but in 12 months we'll be playing the next World Cup. So very interesting to see how that turns out for sure. But we'll be here, and the year they shine in France, they'll go far again. Never underrate them because even the last World Cup, after Benzema got injured and all of that, there was, I believe Pogba was not the last World Cup, was he? No, yeah, Pogba was not the last World Cup. Kante also was in there. I think to yourself, where does this France squad go? Because those are the, Pogba and Kante, that midfield had given them so much success. But look, Deschamps managed to get something out. He managed to rejig their squad, rebuild it, and they were looking quite good. They got to the final, lost on penalties, so they are still a formidable team, and they are still very dangerous. And look, tournament football is about winning. It's not about playing beautiful football. It's not about fluid football. It's about winning. And he does that very well.
That's why he's earned that name, tournament coach.
Yeah, and if he's been to 2 consecutive World Cup finals, so his last year, next year in the US is his last tournament, I'm sure he can back himself and the French team to go all the way to the final, maybe win it this time, make up for losing to Argentina and Qatar.
Okay. All right, so France taking up a 3rd place after beating Germany by 2-0. Well, for the final, currently in penalties, it's 4-3 with Portugal taking it. But let's just take a quick
look. Have they missed the penalty or they just have taken less?
Yeah, Spain just missed. Alvaro Morata missing that one.
Oh, my boss.
Yes, but let's take a look at this. We'll come back and talk more. Cristiano Ronaldo. Do you know Roro? Do you know Well, Portugal winning the Nations League 5 from penalties. They beat Spain in the final. 5-3, sorry. So 2019 they won it and they've gone on to win it. Spain were the defending champions. It's a big win for Ronaldo and his boys. Susu.
Yeah, first team to win the Nations League twice. This is a very young tournament. I believe the first one was in 2019.
Yeah. So they won the first.
Fairly young tournament, so very interesting. Was it earlier, 2019?
Yeah, 2019.
Yeah, so the first one was in 2019. Portugal won that. They've won it again. Again, another great performance from Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, look, they were down. He got the equalizer. They managed to hold on, get to penalties. He wasn't there. He got injured, and they won it. So, I mean, very...
but to be fair, he took them to penalties with his goal.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. He got the equalizer.
Tapping, yeah.
I mean, all will be.
It was a tapping though, but they don't care whether it's tapping or it's penalties or it's
tapping
overhead kick or it's a goal.
Even the keeper played the ball and it hits his chest and entered.
If you go,
it's a goal.
Like if you go, if they're writing the story, don't write. It's okay, yeah, don't write.
You're right, but anyway, the point is for Portugal, this is a very talented team. I believe they've underachieved a bit when you look at the talent. I wasn't sure about the teams Roberto Martinez put out because you have João Neves and Vitinha playing in midfield together, winning the Champions League, playing inter of the park, and you stick João Neves at right back. I'm wondering what's the thing? But clearly he knows more than me and it's worked. I mean, they didn't lead in the game. They were a bit under pressure. The XG didn't favor them, but they got the results in the end, and that's all that matters. And look, in 2 days, no one is going to say Spain got double the XG Portugal got. They are going to say Portugal won the trophy. So congratulations to them. Congratulations to all the players, and I'm quite happy for them.
Kwache?
I mean, the story is Ronaldo, because without his goal in the semi-finals as well, the winner against Germany, before he now got the equalizer today, it's very, very impressive. Very impressive. For Portugal, like I said, I wasn't also very convinced about Martinez and what he could do with the squad. But winning a trophy is a good start for him. And for Ronaldo to be top scorer in this tournament.
That's what 8 goals in 9 matches.
8 goals in 9 games. I'm slightly disappointed.
Isn't it more now? Wasn't it 8 goals before today?
No, it was 8.
I think it was 8 today.
What he scored today made it 8.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm slightly disappointed that if he had been a bit like Lewandowski, sacrificed a bit, I think he could still play in Europe's top 5 leagues. Whatever project or he's doing in the Saudi Pro League, it's good for him, but I still feel like at this level, he still had something, he still could be playing good football in Europe. But to lead this team, because that's how like you were talking about the story, and that's how the story is going to be written. Ronaldo scored the winner against Germany. Ronaldo got the equalizer. And again, it's a bit like when they won the Euros in 2016. He got injured, but then he was still able to influence the team or guide them to the trophy. So, yeah, that's 3 international trophies for him, which I was mentioning to Sue, equals Messi's international trophies. And there's a World Cup coming next year, and he still looks quite good. So, yeah, let's see what happens.
Okay. Do you want to do the...
No, but...
You don't want to do it?
He
Sweet.
himself, he's not been doing it recently.
Can't jump as much.
Yes, sweet.
I've not been seeing him doing it recently. So
Come again.
I've not been seeing him doing it recently.
Yeah, I mean he's growing, so he has to
If
protect.
he's not doing it, me too, I won't do it.
I want to do it for him, but maybe when I do the trials good here, so I'll be steady. Let me read some messages. This one says, good evening, Gabby. A very big happy birthday to my lovely wife, Mrs. Rita Kodia, and son, Heneba in Tree Kodia of Mount Mary Preparatory School of Uncle Barria. A very, okay.
Happy birthday to your family,
Yeah,
sir.
so happy birthday to all your family, okay? Please, Gold Stars is from Western North region and not Western region. Okay, yeah. So
we're using 10 region geography.
Yes,
We
yes,
apologize.
yeah. So from Yuma, Seshi, we also. So watching us from that place. Let's talk about some transfer news, and then we'll touch on the NBA Finals. Oklahoma City Thunder taking on the Indiana Pacers tonight. So who are we talking about? Is Florian Wirtz. He played in the UEFA Nations League, plays for Germany, and Liverpool are looking to close in on that signing. Sisu, goodbye for Liverpool.
I believe so, but right now the fee is starting to worry me.
What's the latest now? 150?
Yeah, it's getting very high.
Pounds.
We heard Man City say it was too expensive. And when Man City says someone is too expensive, you have to wonder what fee are they asking for Man City?
But is it worth it though?
You see, I always say when you succeed, no one will remember your fee.
Yeah.
It's when you fail that the fee will be used as a stick to beat you. So you have to succeed. But for me, whenever I see certain fees for certain players, I don't like it because you are creating an expectation of a player that a player will never meet. So sometimes that's what hurts footballers. I believe Jack Grealish and Anthony are good examples. Because of their fee, and we had seen them before, they were good players, but they were never going to live up to the fee and that level of performance.
Has any of the players above 100 million actually lived up to the hype? If you think about
No,
it.
Maybe Gareth Bale. Maybe Gareth Bale.
I think Bale was slightly under.
Bale was. Anyway, but generally, when the fee gets that high, it's almost impossible to live up to the expectations. So I don't like the fee. I don't believe he'll be a poor player for Liverpool, but if it's anything less than a 9 out of 10, if it's anything less than what Kevin De Bruyne has done for Man City, people are probably going to think the transfer is a failure. And that, for me, means that the fee is too high because you can't buy a player with the expectation that he's going to become an all-time great. So the fee is too high, in my opinion. Good player, but the fee is unreasonable.
Too excessive.
No,
But a quick one.
Isn't that just a product of the way the transfer window now is? That's why most players are now going for like the free transfer, waiting out your contract, seeing out till it ends. Because most of these players are valuable, but if you want to leave at the peak of your careers and go to another club, it means someone has to spend a large amount of transfer fee for you. So based on how things have gone since the Neymar and Coutinho and Dembele moves, I think it's becoming more and more expensive to buy these top players. I think so. The question comes down to whether you think he's worth it, whether he is that X factor for Liverpool's team.
I'll just answer that question. I don't think most players are worth the transfer fees they pay for them.
Yeah, that's
anyway,
true.
You've noticed that this is something I always complain about. That you look at the transfer fee, this player is not going to be worth that, and it's going to become a negative. You're right. There's inflation in the transfer markets. No one is going to sell a player for less than 100 million when they look like they are any type of good. But it doesn't mean we shouldn't sit and say, oh, it's a good transfer because people are doing it. You can also say that this is a bad fee and he's probably not going to live up to the fee. And everyone is going to be insulting him and it's not going to be fair.
So if you don't do the Real Madrid system of going for free agents, how do you build a team full of the best players in the world now?
You find them when they are younger. You don't let them become good.
Okay, Kwache, finish off and then.
What
are you expecting from him, though?
I think it's a good move. I think
it's a good buy.
I think it's a good buy. I think, like I said, given how much players are going for these days, I think if you are able to find a player who you identify as being key to your system and can actually impact your, bring it compared to the players you have, be that difference. If they feel like Wirtz is that player and he is worth the money, because I felt the same way about Alisson. The time where they spent 67 million on the goalkeeper, and I was wondering why would he spend so much on the goalkeeper? But then there's the other side of it, when Chelsea bought Kepa for about 70 million, and that didn't really work out.
Yeah.
But I think Liverpool have a good record with that, with Van Dijk too for about 75 million, before United went for Maguire for 80. They have a reputation of almost spending the money for the player if they think he's worth it for their system. And if, like I said, if Slot and the people in charge...
And there's money from the Coutinho still resting.
Still.
In the fridge.
I think...
But you see, even the examples he's given, Van Dijk and Alisson, they've become two of the best in their position.
Yeah.
Probably ever to play in the Premier League.
Yeah.
They are in those conversations. Yeah. So if that's what you're going to get for the money, if I say Florian Wirtz should be doing what Kevin De Bruyne came to do, that's the expectation they are putting.
That's actually huge expectation.
Yeah, no, but I think the expectation brings the pressure. As a player, you should be able to deal with the pressure. But I think he should be able to come, play his football, and then be judged after.
I do think he's going to be as good as Kevin De Bruyne.
Well, we'll all be judging on his slot next season. So.
And that's my issue. If you don't believe he's going to be as good as Kevin De Bruyne, it means they are paying too much.
Okay, so let's see. We'll keep you posted with regards to that transfer news. Liverpool up against Liverpool going for Florian Wirtz. Let's finish off with the NBA 2024-25 NBA Finals. Oklahoma City are Thunder taking on Indiana Pacers tonight. Guys, quick thoughts on that.
Well, I was surprised the Pacers took game one. Oklahoma City in the NBA playoffs have an average margin of victory at home of 24 points. They've lost one game at home all playoffs, so the Pacers needed to win one game on the road, or they had no chance of winning, because I don't see Oklahoma City losing 2 games at home. So that alone puts you in a very difficult position where Oklahoma City are going to win a number of games. So it's very important for them. If they can win game 2, they put them right in the driver's seat. But if Oklahoma City win game 2, now the series is 1-1, they need to win both games at home. And you have to take it game by game. You have to plan out your games. And winning at home is very important. If Oklahoma City are able to win one game in Indiana, either game 4 or game 3, and it's 2-2 going into the final 3 games of the series, I believe Oklahoma City will take it. But if they can get it to 3-1 after their home games, I believe they're in a very good position and it's their title to lose. So it's all about the next 3 games for me. I believe that's where the series will be on. But Indiana have done something very amazing by winning this game, and they have a history of great comebacks, so very impressive. And right now, I still believe Oklahoma City Thunder are the favorites. I'm still standing by my prediction that they'll win the title. But if it's 3-1 after 4 games, I'll say Indiana have, changed my mind, and I'll be very happy to be wrong.
So Oklahoma for you?
Still Oklahoma City. But
Pache, quick one on that.
Yeah, I mean Orlando Magic. I think their comeback was improbable, but I think they have almost sort of been underrated in this because of how well the Thunder have been, even from regular season. But I still think that I think they can go on and do it. I think the Pacers can still go on and win this title. They just have to win. They have to, like Sue said, they have to win their games at home. And I think Haliburton is. I think he's important to their victory. He's inspired. How many game winners has he had in?
2 or 3, 3 or 4 actually maybe.
Yeah, 3 or 4.
Very
so
impressive.
I think, and the mentality, because if you expect Oklahoma to win the games, when you are behind, you don't almost feel the pressure as much, because you still have that mentality that maybe this was expected, but we can come back and win it. So I think winning game 1 was key, and like I said, if everything goes according to plan and they just win their home games, get that advantage, I think they can win the title. They can win the NBA.
Okay, thank you guys so much. We'll bring you more updates later tomorrow on radio. Kickoff, that's where you have all the updates from the NBA 2024-2025 finals. Guys, thank you so much, Susu Graham and Coach Mano Kwache for doing this with us today. And also congratulations to the winners from the Men's Open, the French Open, the women's singles. And also, shout outs to all Ronaldo fans. Yeah. Sweet. One more time. Cristiano Ronaldo all the way. I'm Gabi Ofe. This is Scorecard, always has been. And we appreciate your time for joining us to do this with us, texting in and making this show a very good one. Take care of yourself. Enjoy the rest of your night. You can catch us tomorrow for more updates on Radio 97.3, the City Breakfast Show. Bye-bye.